We have 2 kids.
Boy in kindergarten and a little girl in 2nd grade.
Where our daughter was previously at school, she had just had a hard time relationally and emotionally getting connected. And so we actually just decided, let's do a shadow day at Cole Valley.
And as we arrived, we went into the elementary school office and she was greeted by name. And she felt so special, like they already knew her. And she was given a little welcome bag with some Cole Valley swag, and then taken out to the kindergarten classroom, and she was introduced to a little girl who has now become her very best friend. She shadowed this little girl all day and followed her into different classes and played with her on recess, and just lives the life of a Cole Valley student for one day, just to see if it's a good fit for her and if she enjoyed it. When I picked her up, she was all smiles. She wanted to go back the next day. She never stepped foot in her old school again.
I got a text that said she loved it. She loved everything about it.
She came out of the school that day and she said, I have more friends at Cole Valley than I have at my other school after one day of shadowing. Kindergarten is 3 full days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and they also offer enrichment the other 2 days. So if parents need 5-day-a-week kindergarten, they're able to provide that. The enrichment days are less academic. They probably do more art projects.
The 3 days has worked perfect for our son. He needed to ease into the 5 days a week. The changing classes is also fun because they get to go to 3 different teachers through the day. It's not just one room all day.
I think that's one of the neatest differences about Cole Valley compared to other schools is starting in kindergarten. You have a homeroom, so the same group of students will rotate to different classrooms. You have a reading teacher, a writing teacher, and a math teacher, and those teachers can specialize in that specific subject, and they can go to trainings and conferences on their specific subject and really dive in instead of having to teach kindergarten students and elementary students all different subjects. I think it's great that Cole Valley meets each student where they're at.
Well, and the teachers being as invested as they are, then they find where that child is and push them where they need to go. And
if students are at a lower level of reading, the teacher will focus on that curriculum and those books, and kids who are more advanced, they are in their own little reading group. They just can progress at their own pace. I mean, it's just so neat to see that every student feels like they're succeeding, and they are. The day that Jada shadowed Cole Valley, it was so neat to walk onto the playground and see the difference between the energy and the atmosphere of her previous school and Cole Valley. The joy of the children was just so awesome to watch. They were running around and giggling and laughing, and we just walked on the playground. My daughter's eyes were like, like, this is amazing. The kids were just so joyful, and I loved it. I loved how loud it was and the laughter.
There's got to be a little chaos on recess because they're holding it back in the classroom. They're out on recess. That's time to have fun. They're out there. They're checking with their teachers when they have questions, even outside. So they're still learning, but they're letting that energy out that they've kind of held in when they're listening and trying to learn. So, well, and even in class, it's a similar way too. It was extremely quiet in class at our previous school. We come into the halls and you hear kids' voices and you hear kids, being kids and learning, and the teachers fostering them to still be themselves, but learn. And I'm learning, but I'm playing, or I'm able to have a discussion as I do this. Our son likes to sing and hum songs to himself, and as long as you're not out of line with it, you just let him go.
You'll come into the kindergarten classroom, actually any classroom up through 6th grade, and some students are sitting on wobbly chairs, and some students are sitting on the floor with the legs have been taken off of desks, and the desks are on the floor. This happened last year. I walked in the kindergarten room and I thought, look at that. And the kindergarten teacher said, they like to lay on the floor. And she said, that's where they do their best work. So I took the legs off the desks and then let them sit down there. I was like, that is so neat.
That's a big change and a big plus for us.
When we first enrolled in Cole Valley, we were so excited because our daughter loved it. She loved going to school. There were no more tears. There was no more anxiety. She loved school, and we were super excited for her. And then I was fortunate enough to be hired by Cole Valley and work in the front office at the elementary school. knowing I loved the school as a parent, but then coming on as a staff member and seeing how the administration and the staff worked behind the scenes, there was no discrepancy, there was no inconsistencies between what you see as a parent and what you see as a staff member. When your student is brought into the office for possible misbehaving, the love your student is shown by the administration when you're not there blew me away.
If you have kids, you know how difficult kids can be at times. So to have a staff that can put the same kind of love into these kids and to see situations handled the way Kara saw them handled, it is impressive. So it's exciting for us to know that, you know, that correction will be made, but it'll be made lovingly, accordingly, and it's not something to be feared, I guess.
I find something new every day I live about Coal Valley. This is no joke. My daughter noticed a third grade teacher greeting every single car that pulled up to the school, opening the back door so that the students could jump out, and she gave every single student a good morning hug. And my daughter said, I don't know that teacher's name, but I am so excited for third grade so I can be with her.
For a teacher to be able to erase fear before we ever get there the next year, I mean, it's huge.
The kids just feel safe and they feel secure and they feel loved, so loved by the teachers.
There's just so many different people that will call them by name just when they walk into the school. Anybody from the front office to even teachers that they haven't even had yet, or you know, just friends in general. So it's pretty exciting when they look forward to showing up every morning. So we had been asked by some folks at the school after Kara worked here to help come attend the new parent dinner, and so we sat in on that, and we got to listen to the superintendent talk, and we had hung around with some families afterwards, and the superintendent had taken some time to chat with me for a little while once we got done, and he had been at work all day, coached basketball, done his presentation, and now was sitting and talking with me, who I'd only met once or twice, and we probably talked for 30 minutes, and as we were talking, he's telling me his testimony and encouraging me to seek God and step out in faith and really follow what God is leading me to do, and I got done with that conversation, and I was just like, yeah, this is the place I want my kids at. I'm comfortable with them being here. They're being led by, you know, the kind of people I want to be led by.
I think that it's just so neat to know that the administration is real. They're genuine. Their vision, their heart for the students is real. And I saw that every day. If you are considering sending your child to Coal Valley, I would not hesitate. If you read their mission statement, they are 100% devoted to that mission statement in furthering and challenging the whole student, academically, spiritually, physically. It's amazing.
They're going to be loved, taken care of the way you would take care of them at home, and also push them to achieve their best. It doesn't mean they won't fail. It doesn't mean there won't be challenges. It just means they're gonna work and use those challenges to learn and to improve. If you want to watch your child kind of excel and just take that next step, you got to give Cole a shot. I am sure it will impress you. It's impressed us every year, so it's exciting.